Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi, hi, hi. I'm hoping you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. So today I have Mind Connection, chapter 15. Chapter 15. 15. Okay, this chapter is called The Mind-Body Connection. There is there is no question that the things we think about, have a tremendous effect upon our bodies. We can change our thinking. The body frequently heals itself. See Everett Koop, MD. Our bodies are like automobiles that God provides for us to drive around Earth in. If we want them to perform to their maximum ability and be around for a long time, then we need to change. We need to choose to think in ways that will help them. All of our thoughts, good or bad, have an effect on our physical being. The mind and body are definitely connected. Today I'm spending the day with a close friend whom I don't get to see very often, and I am really looking forward to it. All my thoughts are happy ones, and I have noticed that I feel better physically than I have in a few days. I didn't necessarily feel bad previously, but today I feel great. My energy level is up and I feel strong. I also been dealing with a minor health problem that has been lingering for 8 weeks, but nobody has been able to provide an accurate diagnosis or prescribed anything to make it better. Last night I encountered a new symptom that shed light on what the problem is, and I now know what to do to get well. That has replaced reasoning and concern with hope, and it has also increased my energy. Positive, hopeful thoughts increase energy, whereas negative, hopefulness once drain energy. Physical tiredness is not always the result of wrong thinking. We certainly can have a sickness or disease that leads to loss of energy, or we may even wake up tired for no known reason. I had the stomach flu for 3 days last week, and I felt terrible. I was tired and weak, and it wasn't caused from wrong thinking. Things don't always happen for the same reason, but I do know that in science and medical technology verify that the mind and body have a close connection, and that our thinking does have a direct effect on our body. Dr. Caroline Leaf has written extensively on the topic in her book Switch on Your Brain. She states, research shows that 75 to 98% of mental, physical, and behavioral illness comes from one's thought life. This staggering and eye-opening statistics mean only 2 and 25% of mental and physical illness come from the environment and genes. We may have a fixed set of genes in our chromosomes, but which of those genes are active, and how they are active has a great deal to do with how we we think and process our experiences. Our thoughts produce words and behaviors, which in turn stimulate more thinking and choices that build more thoughts in an endless cycle. We are constantly reacting to circumstance and events, and as this cycle goes on, our brains become shaped by the process in either positive or good quality of life direction, or in negative, toxic, poor quality of life direction. So it is the quality of our thinking and choices, consciousness, and our reactions that determine our brain architecture, the shape or design of the brain, and result quality of the health of our minds and bodies. Science and scripture both show that we are wired for love and optimism, and so when we react by thinking negatively and making negative choices, the quality of our thinking suffers, which means the quality of our brain architecture suffers. It is comforting and challenging to know that negative thinking is not the norm. Toxic thinking wears down the brain. The Institute of Heart Math, an international recognized nonprofit research organization that helps people reduce stress, discusses an experiment titled Local and Non-Local Effects of Coherent Heart Frequencies on conformational changes of DNA. The study showed that thinking and feeling anger, fear, and frustration cause DNA to change shape according to the thoughts and feelings. The DNA responded by tightening up and becoming shorter, switching off many DNA codes, which reduce the quality expression. So we feel shut down by negative emotions, and our body feels this too. But here's the great part. The negative shutdown of poor quality of the DNA codes was reversed by feeling of love, joy, appreciation, and gratitude. The researchers also found that HIV positive patients who had positive thoughts and feelings had 3,000 times more resistance to the disease than most without positive feelings. So the takeaway here is that when we operate in our normal love design, which is being made in God's image, see Genesis 1:26, we are able to change the shape of our DNA for the better. So when we make poor quality decisions, when we choose to engage toxic thoughts, for example, unforgiveness, bitterness, irritation, or feeling of not coping, we change the DNA and subsequent genetic expression, which then changes the shape of our brain wiring in a negative direction. That immediately puts the brain into a protection mode, and the brain translates these as poor quality toxic thoughts and negative stress. This stress then manifests in our bodies, but the most exciting part of this study was the hope it demonstrated because of the positive attitude. The good choice rewired everything back to the original health positive state. These scientists basically proved we can renew our minds. Here are two powerful statistics confirming that much of mental and physical illness comes from one thought life. A study by American Medical Association found that stress is a factor in 75% of all illnesses and diseases that people suffer from today. The association between stress and disease is colossal, 85%. The main point of this information is that mind control matters. If we get this right, we have an enormous potential to reach peak health. If we get it wrong, we will be our own worst enemies. Positive thoughts improve health. Many years ago, a woman shared with her experience of receiving healing from arthritis, and it is quite amazing. She had been suffering greatly for several years with painful arthritis in several joints of her body. Medicine helped some, but nothing brought any true healing until she heard teaching on the devastating effects of bitterness and unresolved anger. She had been hurt deeply by her mother and literally hated her. The thoughts she meditated on frequently about her mother were negatively affecting her in ways she was totally unaware of. Through the teaching of Jesus on the need to forgive our enemies, she found the grace to do so, and over the next few months, she noticed that her pain from arthritis was gradually disappearing. The swelling and stiffness of her joints was diminishing and continued to do so until she was completely healed. I'm not suggesting that everyone with arthritis is filled with bitterness, but in this case she was, and the healing she sought could not come until she was free from it. More and more studies are proven that the physical body responds negatively to negative thinking, and it responds positive to positive thinking. Every part of the human body has a critical role to play, and if one part is functioning in any unhealthy way, then the entire body can often suffer the consequences. It is the same when a part of the body is functioning in a healthy manner. Recently, I read the story about a man named Ed. Ed remembers having an upset stomach when he was a child, and his grandmother asking him if he was having problems at school. What she knew instinctively, we are the last beginning to prove scientifically that there is an intimate and dynamic relationship between what is going on with your feelings and thought and what happens in the body. Time magazine, a special show, this happiness, hopeful, optimism, and content appear to reduce the risk of limit the severity of cardiovascular disease, pulmonary disease, diabetes, hypertension, cold, and upper respiratory infections. While depression, the extreme opposite of happiness, can worsen heart disease, diabetes, and a host of other illnesses. Examining negative thoughts and emotions. When you are irritated or frustrated, when you do experience those feelings in your body, when you are late for an appointment, does your stomach start to hurt or feel upset? Do your muscles become tense when you have to wait in a long line and nobody is in a rush but you? When you hear someone you trusted has told your secret, do you experience shortness of breath as you become more and more anxious? What happens in your body when you become anxious or angry? Have you ever really paid attention to how you feel physically when you are experiencing negative thoughts and emotions? If not, it could be an educational process in which you might learn a lot. What happens to your heart rate? Do you get pain in your head or neck, or do you begin to sweat? I have observed that when I have something on my mind that is pressuring me, I don't sleep as well as normally do, and then I feel tired the next day. I really don't like it when someone gives me a problem at night and there is no way for me to solve it until the next day. I like to deal with troubling issues right away and get them off my mind. The Apostle Paul tells us not to let the sun set on our anger. See Ephesians 4:26. And I think it's best not to let it set on our worries either. Memories. Pay attention to how memories affect you. If I let my mind drift back to specific instances when my father was abusing me, or beating my mother, or yelling in anger, or the fear I experienced happens constantly throughout my childhood. My body responds in tightness, and I clench my teeth. I don't allow myself to do that very often, but there are occasions when I find my mind has gone to the wrong memory, and I have to retrieve it quickly before it traps me in a painful place that is unhealthy. Good memories have the opposite effect. They produce peace, relaxation, both of which cooperate with the healing properties God has placed in our bodies. If I allow my thoughts today to be on what went wrong yesterday or mistakes that I have made, it only zaps my strength for today. No wonder the Apostle Paul said that one of his greatest aspirations was to forget what was behind him and to press towards the future. See Philippians 3:12-14. Perhaps he knew 2,000 years ago what we are finding out today. Over and over God's word instructs us to remember the good thing that God has done for us. I suspect that God also knew what the scientists and chemists are just discovering about how thoughts affect the rest of our lives. God sure is smart, and it's a shame that more people don't listen to him and believe that what he says. I always chuckle when the scientific discovery reveals something God revealed in his word centuries ago. Let's look at a few examples of God's word. God told the Israelites to remember that they are once slaves in Egypt and how he redeemed and delivered them. See Deuteronomy 24:18. I am sure when they were delivered, it was an extremely joyous occasion, and remembering it often would surely help them in many ways. Esther put her life on the line when she went before King Ahasuerus without being summoned to plead for the lives of Israel's own Haman secretly planned to destroy. When planned worked and they were all saved, the people took it upon themselves to keep 2-day feast every year to remember what God had done for them. See Esther 9:27-29. When David was dealing with depression, he purposely remembered a time when he led the people with shouting and praise. See Psalm 42:4-5. I'm sure that David was applying the principle I was suggesting. He was thinking about things that made him happy to help get rid of the depression he was experiencing. David found the key to satisfaction. He said, "My whole being shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the night watches, for you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings will I rejoice." Psalm 63:5-7. There are many instances recorded in the Bible when God instructed his people to remember, recount, and recall his mighty acts and the things he had done for them. When they failed to do so, they lost their appreciation, became selfish and independent, and always went back into bondage. Remembering the good things in life is certainly helpful and keeps us on the happy path of gratitude. The simple fact is that thankful people are happy people, and happy people are often healthier than sad, discouraged, hopeless, and depressed people. The mind-body connection is how a proven fact that it gives us an easy and inexpensive way to help maintain good health. Anybody can think positive, good thoughts if we will choose to do so. I love that I can improve my health by thinking better wants to be a victim, and we certainly don't want to be victimized by our thoughts. Learning to think purposely and aggressively instead of passively, providing an empty space for a chance or the devil to fill. It is the way to become the victor instead of the victim. Ask God to help you and get started today on your way of healthier mind and body. Think about it. Positive, hopeful thoughts increase your energy levels. 2. Confront troubling issues right away. Deal with them, refusing to let worry affect your spirit, soul, and body. 3. Instead of focusing on what is wrong, set your mind on what is right. The good things God has done in your life. Thankful people are happy people, and happy people are healthier people. That was the end of chapter 15. So, obviously, I'll be back to finish this book. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you and welcome to my new subscribers. Please give me a thumbs up, share, comment, follow me on Instagram, hit the bell for notification, and